Hi, welcome to First Team All Vibes.
That's right, this is First Team All Vibes, your favorite sports podcast where we also make sure to include the vibes. My name is Marissa, I am one of your hosts, and I am the resident vibe connoisseur on this podcast, if you will. New to sports slightly, but I'm excited to be here, and this is my lovely co-host here.
My name is Anthony. I am a little too obsessed with ball, so I'm the resident ball knower. I like balls. Is another way you could say it.
He does, in
but
fact.
In a nerdy way. I'm definitely the couch potato that didn't play, but I know a lot about it. So
Yes, we are so excited to be here. Okay, guys, like for those of you who know us, we are cousins, okay, and I have never really been into sports. I feel like me being on this podcast is very like unexpected and extremely off the plot of what you would expect from me, okay? But I randomly got into basketball this year and now I'm kind of addicted, and we were having so many conversations, right? Like we would just start on stuff and we would start like talking about random sports stuff.
well, yeah, but tell them. Obviously, it's because of TikTok. TikTok is who's. That's the reason why you got it.
Yes, okay, like we just want to give you guys a little bit of background about like who we are, what you can expect from this podcast, and why we decided to do it. So essentially, yeah, I mean, I randomly was on TikTok one day and I started seeing people reacting to the Luka Doncic trade, okay? And at the time, I had no idea who he was. Frankly, I did not even know the Dallas Mavericks were a team. I'm going to be completely honest. I didn't know anything really about basketball. I knew about the Lakers because my dad used to watch them when I was younger. Like, I knew some of the teams, you know. I mean, I grew up around sports, but I just did not care, like, as an adult at all, or know anything, okay? But I started seeing all of these TikToks, all these edits, all these people freaking out about the Luka trade. I wish I would have known at the time, because I'm sure we would have had like a crazy reaction together. Like,
I called your brother.
Really? I was
That was
going to
my
say,
first
like,
call.
what was your reaction to that?
That was my first call. I didn't. There's one of those that I was like, is it April 1st?
Yeah.
Is this just like,
yeah.
because they did that one year and ESPN was a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
We got a push notification for some major trade, but it was just like
I
an
didn't
April
know
Fool's joke.
that. I did not know that.
I think it
That's
only happened
interesting.
one time, but I think
Wow.
it caused too much uproar. They didn't do it again.
Yeah.
That one I was just like, there's no way, dude. That
Okay.
then it was real.
Okay, so that's interesting. I didn't even know that. But yeah, so I started just seeing all of the people obviously having meltdowns, people freaking out, just, you know, the tea of it all, the drama, if you will. And I was curious. And then I kept seeing more things about it. And so I think there was maybe one TikTok that like explained it to me. And I was like, wow, they really did that guy dirty. That's so sad. And like, I really felt for Luka, honestly. Like,
What really got, I think, like a lot of girlies in on this was the amount of like sad TikToks they made
Yes.
of him. That he looked like, I mean, anybody would love to be in LA. He looked like he didn't want to be there. I mean, he was genuinely heartbroken that they did that. He wanted to be in Dallas. He didn't want to be anywhere else. And you could just see how like sad he was on the bench and
they betrayed him.
on the walking off the flight, like all of it. It was just it was hard to watch.
Exactly. So I was seeing all of this, okay, like in real time, and I was just like, I was captivated by it. I was drawn in, and like you're saying, I started seeing like him getting off the plane and, you know, landing in LA, and like his press conference where he was just like literally looked like he was about to cry. So clearly, so, you know, disappointed, because how couldn't you be? I mean, you know, when you think about like the position he was in, I mean, he really just like got the worst end of the stick, you know what I mean? And just kind of had to deal with it. And I just got curious after that. And, you know, it's like, although I was never into sports, I always understood sports. Like, I did play basketball in middle school. You know what I mean? Like, I knew the rules, and I can watch a game and understand. And same thing with football. You know, like, I understand all the rules. I know what's going on. might not know all the details. I definitely might not know all the players, but I can watch a game and understand what's happening. So I was like, you know what? I want to watch Luka's first game as a Laker. Just because, honestly, I was curious because everyone was hyping him up so much that he was like so amazing. You know what I mean? And obviously I got that from all the conversations. I was like, oh, this guy's like a great player, you know? And so I was just curious to see him play, I think, partially. Mm-hmm. But then I also was like there for the revenge arc, you know?
It's a good arc.
Yes, exactly. And, you know, that was basically the first paragraph of what has now become an entire chapter of me basically just being like, well, I just watched the first game, and so now I have to watch the second game because everyone was like, he didn't play that well in the first game, and he was injured and all this. So I was like, well, you know, like now I kind of want to see them because I think they played like the Jazz or something that first game. It was like not a good game. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know, it's like not a great intro. So I was like, you know what? Like I want to see them play other teams. Like I'm kind of curious now. And then I just started really liking all of them. I started locking in on the players, honestly. You guys will see as we go through all these sports conversations that I feel like I am very impartial to like less teams, more the players themselves.
I'm definitely more impartial to the teams.
Okay, that's fair.
I'm one of those loyal sports fans.
Yeah.
I've stuck with the same team. I feel like most people though they have a favorite player and they kind of move around.
It's like, look, like I think that it would take something like Luka being traded for me to be like, oh, I'm not going to support the Lakers anymore. Spoiler alert, I am now a Lakers fan. If you guys already can't tell, like if you're watching on YouTube right now, by the way, if you're not, you can watch us on YouTube at First Team All Vibes. If you were just listening to this, please don't forget to leave us a review. If you're on YouTube, subscribe. But if you're watching on YouTube right now, you can see on our set these lovely posters behind me. I have the Lakers here, and I have Luka Doncic here. So I will be, I'm sure, routinely referring to them in our conversations, paying them admiration, etc. But yeah, so that's basically how we ended up here. I randomly became interested in it, and then I started knowing a lot because I started watching like a lot of their games. It was like my hyperfixation. And then I was like, I actually can have sports conversations now. And then we started talking. And then that's how we got here.
And then you learn to happen that the same things happen in other sports.
Yeah. And I like
with Micah Parsons, the comparable
in
the NFL. Not the comparable, but generational guy.
Well,
he's got his own personal stuff. Micah, he's a little immature. Luka, he can get out of shape and used him as a scapegoat, and there's no way to justify trading generational talent. Both in Dallas.
Ironically, both in Dallas.
So I'm not wearing my Cowboys jersey. I'm officially done.
Oof.
Done with that garbage.
Well, you see, I mean, I guess that's why a lot of people stop being Mavericks fans, right? Like,
tired of wanting to kill myself all the time.
Honestly, I mean,
sick of it.
I don't blame you. Like, I mean, I'm going to be fully transparent.
Sell the team, Jerry.
Right. I mean, even I know that, okay? And I don't even know really much about football, so that says something. But, yeah, I don't know that much about football, okay? You guys are going to be witnessing my beginner baby stages into really knowing what's going on in football. I know some of the players. I know that guy got traded from the Cowboys because that just happened and people were upset about it, and there was also a lot of press about it. But I don't really know a lot of the players. And I'm going to get better at it. I know that the Chiefs and the Eagles were in the Super Bowl last year. I know that the Eagles won. Okay.
Obliterated the Chiefs. Yes.
I know that the Chiefs were winning a bunch before that. I know certain things for sure. I know at least the very surface things. So you guys are going to have to excuse my naivety, but that's also kind of our bit on this podcast is that I am naive and I don't really know that much. And Anthony knows quite a bit more than I do. So you guys will see
Not
that.
everything. But I definitely bring a few of my own biases to the conversation. But that's with any sports fan. But I'm definitely a little bit more jaded now. After the Michael Parsons thing, I feel like I'm full on just negativity. If anybody's going to bring negative vibes to this conversation and to this pod, it's going to be me.
That's true. That's probably, I mean, unless, no, I'll probably be happy regardless, to be honest. I find the bright side. I like to find the bright side at least. But, okay, yeah. So that being said, like, that's kind of what we want this podcast to be. Like, we want this podcast to be somewhere where we can talk about sports and what's going on and the events and have, like, real analytical conversations about all of the games and the teams. Definitely, you know, obviously I'm going to be contributing more on the NBA side because that's what I know more about right now. But we basically want to go into also football, all of the major sports, all the relevant sports happenings, and talk about all of the events, but also do some fun segments. You know what I mean? Like, do some things that are out of the box and, you know, just have fun with it. So I really hope you guys like it. And that being said, I guess we can go ahead and start.
Start with a tip-off. This week's tip-off is the NBA offseason.
Yes.
Who won the offseason?
Yeah, good question.
So, I don't know if you want to start this. I could start this. I have two. Really, it's only two big ones.
I think I already know what you're going to say, and I'm probably going to say the same thing. And that would be the Nuggets and the Rockets. Is that what you're going to say?
I actually was going to give one team from the West, one team from the East. The Nuggets were my team from the West. Okay. Obviously, KD going to the Rockets. That was a big problem last year. It was closing games. You get a certified bucket getter. That's going to make anything better. And then you get rid of Jalen Green, who, God bless his soul, was just terrible.
I think he'll be better. He's just young.
27 points, and then he dropped off the face of the earth.
Yeah. But, you know, I mean, I would agree. I mean, if you want to say one, should we say one from each then? One each conference?
Mm-hmm.
If I were...
let me, okay, if you want to take the Rockets, let me take the Nuggets.
Okay, fair.
Because that's mine.
I would say that, like, I'm not completely sold that the Rockets are going to be as good as everyone thinks they are, that they're just, like, automatically contenders, because I don't know exactly what their chemistry is going to look like. I think they're a very different team now, like, with Kevin Durant leading it. I feel like before, like, they almost gave me, like, Pacers vibes, where it was kind of, like, power friendship, you know what I mean? Where it was, like, they're all young, and they all, like, are just really putting everything in it, and I do think that also gave them, like, a lot of stamina for the regular season, just like at OKC. You know what I mean? Of, like, the young core that, like, is able to, like, really push and get a lot of wins. And so I don't really know if they're going to look like that. Like, it could be that they still do, but I do think that it could actually serve them more in the playoffs than the regular season, because it's not about necessarily stamina. It's, like, about, you know, just strategy and, like, having the right pieces. You know what I mean? But I don't know. We'll see. But I do think that they have really good depth. That's one thing I will say about the Rockets, is that I think that they probably have the best depth behind OKC. And so, I don't know. I'm looking forward to seeing them. I'm looking forward to opening night, honestly, with OKC and Rockets.
Plus, I feel like something that is very underrated about what they did. Dylan Brooks is a great defender. I'm not going to take that away from him. But as somebody that is also a part of, like, the Dylan Brooks, not hate, I don't think I hate him as much as everybody else does, annoyance fan club, is, he writes checks that he doesn't have to cash. It's Fred VanVleet having to cash it, or Eamon, or Sengun having to cash it, and he often just incited these sparks from other teams if they were playing really well, and then he would go and he'd start yapping, and then the other team would start to come back, and then you'd lose. I mean, it happened in the playoffs. They lost a game to the Warriors that way. He sparked Jimmy Butler. They lost a series. I feel like that was the pivotal game that they should have won, and they ended up losing because of him. So I feel like it's an underrated move. I feel like keeping Eason and some of those pieces that they have to still have that defense, because KD's is still a good defender. He's still long. He's still lengthy.
Yeah.
So, again, like, I mean, I can agree with you, maybe because they might be a little bit older on paper with KD. Yeah. They might lose a couple more games in the regular season, but in the long run, I mean, it's going to serve them way better in the playoffs. And I'd go as far to say, like, at least the second round. They're getting out of the first round this year. Last year they couldn't. this year,
Oh yeah.
KD's finishing those games,
It's
and
like-
they're not going to have that guy yapping all the dang time.
They're beating they would beat Golden State if it was this team, I think. You know
Oh
what
yeah,
I mean?
this team would.
Yeah.
For sure.
So it's like, I mean, I do think that'll for sure come in clutch, you know? I just don't know if they're going to be the 2 seed or if they will be like the 7 seed. You know what I mean? Like, whatever. I mean, obviously, I guess that's the case with all of these teams in the West. It's like impossible to predict. But go ahead and pop off about the Nuggets. I'm curious because I know you're very high on them.
I love what they did, bringing Bruce Brown back. A lot of people don't. I mean, maybe it's just not a lot of people, but some people didn't like the MPJ trade. I feel like Cam Johnson is the same player, just less athletic, and he's going to be available.
Maybe
That's
a better
it.
person.
And he's a better shooter. Oh, way better person. Are you kidding
You
me?
know, we got to bring in the vibes. Just saying, if you've been paying attention to what MPJ is saying,
Wild stuff.
he's going a
Wild
little
stuff.
crazy. So,
Well,
you know,
wild stuff. Wild stuff.
yeah.
I'm not even going to entertain it.
Exactly. That's why.
But
so,
should we? No, let's not entertain.
Let us know if you want
It's
us
not
to go on a
entertaining.
deep dive. I have all of the things that
That's
you
the
have
next
said.
question. Is MPJ a liberal?
I know. Hard to tell.
Are we the snowflakes for
Hard
getting
to
hurt by
tell.
what he was saying?
No.
Or is he just a piece of garbage?
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. That's pushing it too far, probably.
He
But
reads to me as a good guy, not a bad guy, but not very well informed, perhaps not very well intellectualized. So he has some very problematic takes, probably a little bit selfish, probably a little bit misogynist.
yeah, definitely where the takes came from. I mean,
Exactly.
he's been a tall guy. I don't think he had he's been a basketball
He's an NBA
star
player.
sinch high school. You know,
And he even said that.
life
you
looks
know?
differently from up there.
Yeah, exactly.
It still shouldn't. It doesn't give you the excuse to ignore what everything's going on. I mean, you got a handsome devil in Jalen Hurts, and he's still got a heart of gold that
exactly
elevates women. So.
Or at least, keep that to yourself, bro. My God. Have some freaking shame. You know what I mean?
Anyway, so that's
preserve your
gone.
image.
That's gone. So now it's step in Cam Johnson.
Yeah.
He's one of the most underrated role players.
He seems
Aaron
nice
Gordon's
to me.
back.
He seems nice.
I think Strawther's great.
Yeah.
I just really like this team. I think they just got better. My big question mark is I was sometimes a fan of, the new coach. Sometimes I wasn't. So I want to see how that culture builds.
Yeah.
But they still have the best player in the world in Nikola Jokic.
This is true.
And they were this close to beating the champions in OKC.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
I think OKC is bringing back the same team. While the Nuggets, while they're getting a year older, they're bringing back a better team.
Yeah.
For the best player in the world. Sorry, SGA, it's not you.
No.
Sorry, Luka, it's not you. It's Jokic.
I don't fight anybody that it's Jokic. I think everyone knows it's Jokic.
that's mine in the West. I have them. Yeah, we'll get into all that of where I feel like they're gonna go, but let me tell you.
I already know what it is in the East because we had a whole conversation about this already, and I was kind of surprised.
But you got to go with yours. We'll reveal mine. We'll go with yours in the East.
I mean, I would probably say the same team because honestly, what other team will you say that really improved? I feel like the East teams didn't do much. I feel like the only other team the Knicks got a new coach. It's not really, they didn't really do anything other seismic. You know what I mean? Who else even, Orlando? I could say that. Maybe I could argue them versus
Orlando, yeah. I mean, the Desmond Bain trade is going to help them.
I'm not going to lie.
They weren't bad last year either.
That's why they beat the Lakers.
And everybody in the West got worse besides one team. But, if it's going to be open, Magic can make a run. They're young.
Yeah.
They got to take
in the East? I mean, because I don't know. I don't know. I think they could have just as good as chance as what I know your team is going to be. So why don't go ahead and tell them about your team.
Now we'll also get into where I feel like they're going to go. I feel like definitely. Okay, I'm going to be straight up. Yeah, my football takes are going to be way less spicy and you'll see why. My NBA takes are going to be way more spicy just because, like, I mean, crazy stuff happens, but Atlanta got so much better. I am loving, I think back to, I think it was 3 seasons ago now, and Trae Young, when he had a decent Hawks team, took them all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals and almost knocked out the Bucks. Granted, the Bucks, by the end, were without Giannis. He ended up playing against the Suns in the finals. But Trae Young, when he has a competent team, oh my gosh, I think he's just one of the most underrated. I mean, he's a cone on defense, not for lack of trying. It's not for lack of trying. It's just, he's a little guy. Can't really play.
Is he a little guy?
Oh, yeah. He's
How
a little
tall is
guy. I believe he's either 5'11" or 6 feet.
Wow.
Great for him. He's a killer at his size, though.
I didn't know he was that small.
If Knicks fans are afraid of him, that should tell you something.
Freaking
waving to fans, hitting clutch shots.
Jalen Brunson.
Oh, Jalen Brunson.
Okay, I'm just gonna start.
I believe Jalen Brunson is taller.
Isn't Jalen Brunson also that short?
I think Jalen Brunson's 6'1". I think Trae Young's 5'11", 6 feet.
That's why
he's definitely one of the shorter players.
That's why the Knicks fans respect him.
Yeah, he kind of gets picked on, but in the same way that Steph gets picked on every now and then they'll get a steal or they'll do something great on defense. But
teams who are not even really short, they're just not NBA tall. Anyway, so you think that he's going to make the difference?
Oh yes, healthy Jalen Johnson, Zachary Risachet. They just have a great young defensive team, and then getting Porzingis and Nickeil Alexander-Walker to come in off the bench for Trae Young, or when they get to the playoffs, if they want to play them in tandem, starting in that lineup if they need a little more offense. I just think that lineup now provides them so much versatility to attack almost any team in the NBA in a variety of ways. And I'm really high. I thought they won the offseason overall, probably even over the Nuggets. Because the Nuggets I don't think the Nuggets were that far off. They were already really good. Atlanta barely got into the playoffs. And where I feel like they're going to be is they're definitely not going to barely be into the playoffs. I think they're going to be a top four. A spoiler alert. They're going to be a top 4 seed in the East, in my opinion. I think Atlanta's going to be that good. I think Trae Young, he's not going to be my MVP vote, but I think he will at some point enter the MVP conversation.
I can see that.
Just for them, I think they're just going to be the biggest surprise this season. And especially when nobody's talking about you. It allows you to go under the radar. It allows you to kind of maybe get to like a 15-8 start, and then people are gonna look at what's going on in Atlanta? They're playing really good basketball, and that's probably a hot take, but that's my take.
I don't think it's that hot of a take. I do think it's a bit of a leap for them, because they didn't really they weren't really that good last year. That's the only reason I think I'm a little are they really gonna do that? But I don't know. It could be. We're going to get into our rankings eventually, guys. Once it gets closer to the NBA season, we're going to, tell you guys how we actually think all of the teams are going to play out. But, yeah, I could agree with, Rockets, maybe, I would say, for the West. Did the best out of everybody. And then I could go with Atlanta for the East. I could agree with that.
All right, so...
Because no one did much in the East. It's kind of hard to say.
Now we move on to who lost. And to me, there's only one... I don't think anybody necessarily lost big time.
No.
I think one team is the only team that are by far the biggest losers. To me, it was Golden State.
Oof, I was going to say the same thing.
They didn't add
I was going to say the same thing.
The way they've handled Kuminga's contract has been terrible.
Yes.
And to even just continue to kind of... I don't know if it's their insiders that are fueling the fire or just regular annoying sports media. If I'm historically wrong on this, something went wrong, and whoever, I don't even remember at this point, whoever the owner is for the Milwaukee Bucks, if it were to happen, you should be fired or sell the team, because that's the only thing they have is Giannis maybe to the Warriors for what? For a bag of chips and Kuminga? You're not going to trade Draymond. You're not going to trade I don't think they can trade Butler because he was recently traded there. I don't think they can. They're definitely not trading Steph. So what? You're going to trade Buddy Hield, Kuminga, 0 first, and Milwaukee's supposed to accept that? I'm going to tell the Warriors fans it's not going to happen. No. And again, if it does, Milwaukee sell the team because that would just be a colossal failure. But, I mean, obviously you traded last season at the deadline for Jimmy to extend him, and then it was the hopes that and we all knew what the writing on the wall was. Yeah. It was for that run. Yeah. That season last year. Yeah. It didn't happen. Steph got hurt. I really think that's it. There's not much they can do. Yeah. They don't have any draft capital. They don't have any money. They're just kind of stuck in purgatory with this team and with pods. So, that's their only option. I think they're the only losers. I feel bad for Steph Curry. I'm crushed for him. I don't want him to finish out his career in the Kobe sense. I want him to go out competitive, not where he's really good and the team is really bad. But I don't even think they're going to make the playoffs. Wow.
I mean, I like I said, as soon as you said it, they were the first team I thought of, so I have to say that I do agree. It sucks because it's like, I don't think they're the worst team, but it's so competitive in the West that it's like, even if they do end up like, getting Al Horford, like getting, like who else were they supposed to get? Like, if whatever, I just don't think that that's really enough because they just feel so like, first of all, I feel like they have no depth at all to like speak of,
And they're just so old.
Yes, and
like even Draymond's getting hurt almost every year too.
Like,
so
it's like you can compare it to a team like the Clippers maybe, where it's like they're also old, but at least they have a lot of depth. So it's like it helps a little bit. You know what I mean? But like I kind of agree that I also feel bad for Steph Curry. I'm just like, you deserve better. Like, and the fact that he has been like so faithful to Golden State, like. He does deserve better. Like, I wish that they were doing more. And honestly, I gotta say, like, I think we were talking about this the other day, that it's like, I kind of I think it's low-key Steve Kerr. Like, he doesn't develop players well. And he even said that. Were we talking about it? Do you remember that? We were talking about something about him.
Yeah. So.
And then sorry, I just want to say this real quick. And then, like, right after we were talking about how he doesn't really develop young players very well, I saw him speaking in an interview where he himself said, I'm not really good at developing young players. I usually let the assistant coaches help with that kind of stuff because I'm not good at that kind of stuff. And I was like, that is literally it right there. He's not good at like, I feel like he's gotten so stuck in like this one version of the team. I don't know if it's just hard for him to like, just conceptualize what a new version of this team could look like by adding people in, because I just feel like the whole Kuminga situation could have been avoided. Like, you're telling me he's been with them for a few years, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Didn't they draft him? Am I making that up?
They drafted him.
Yeah. So it's like, you're telling me in all this time you couldn't figure something out?
There was even like an original plan that once, Draymond, Clay, and Steph were out, that Wiseman, this was right after they had just drafted Wiseman, that Wiseman, Kuminga, and Jordan Poole would be the future, trio going forward. But, I mean, I've always said he's accomplished. I thought he was great when he was on TNT as a color commentator. But, yeah, I mean, He's been riding off the coattails of, first off, the team that Mark Jackson built, the coach before. Yeah. Mark Jackson got flack, I believe it was 2014, for going on camera after a loss to the Spurs and said they questioned how many this is when Steph kind of wasn't Steph yet. He was kind of barely coming up and taking off. Klay was not Klay Thompson yet. He's not the Klay that everybody knew. And he looked at that camera dead in the eye when he was being questioned for how many threes those guys were jacking up, and was it a bad shot? Are they, is it bad shot selection? And he said, no, it's not, because they're the best shooting backcourt of all time. And he got so much flack for that. And I believe it was not that year or the following season. He ended up getting fired. Steve Kerr steps in first year. They win, I believe it was that first year, they win the finals. But again, it was off every move that Mark Jackson made, the team that Mark Jackson made. In comes KD. KD saves the day. They're a juggernaut that we've never seen that kind of talent. It was just unfair. Everybody was playing the Avengers or the Justice League.
Yeah.
And then, since then, it's just been Steph bailing them out left and right. My biggest comp is the Olympics. I mean, we saw it. We saw he had a plethora of future Hall of Famers, of All-Stars, of All-NBA first-teamers, and he couldn't figure out how to play a Joel Embiid. He couldn't figure out how to play a Jason Tatum.
Yes.
He couldn't figure out how to play a Tyrese Halliburton. And the United States was in way too many close games, and so much of those close games literally just came down to give Steph the ball and let him close out the game. That has nothing to do with coaching. That has everything to do with Steph Curry is a literal psychopath.
No, literally.
And that's all it is. And it's been no different since. I mean, Steph Curry carries the Warriors in the Celtics series in the finals. I got to shout out Andrew Wiggins for a great series in that. But, Steph Curry almost alone beat a way more talented Celtics team. Jason Tatum should have 2 rings. But that's how great Steph Curry is. And again, when you really look at it, who has Steve Kerr developed? I don't think he's really developed any players. That's
what it exactly is. And he even said that in the interview, too, or it was in the same, I don't know, whatever, I saw it. But he was like, I would not be here if it wasn't for Steph. He literally made my career. He is the reason that I have, he made some kind of comment of if it wasn't for Steph, I would have been like every other NBA coach and I would have been fired. That's what he said. And it's
Which is
literally true. Exactly.
I mean, you think about the one year that they didn't have Steph, they were literally in the lottery and had the worst record in the league. That is where he was at.
Yeah.
And they had some pretty good players on that team and couldn't win a game.
Yeah.
Couldn't win a game.
Yeah.
Granted, I don't think that team had Klay either. They had just lost KD. But, I mean, still, when I grew up a Spurs fan, so I grew up kind of spoiled with Greg Popovich, and I think about all the players that, that Pop and that Spurs organization developed. I mean, Kawhi Leonard was a stretch forward, a great rebounder and defender who couldn't shoot the ball.
Yeah.
Look how that changed. I mean, Derek White, he was a Spurs draft pick, and he's just killing it with the Celtics. DeJounte Murray has had unbelievable contracts and maybe hasn't had the accolades or success that he would hope for, but I mean, still a damn good player in the Hawks and now on the Pelicans. So, I just think if you're really that good of a coach and you're really good at that develop, you should be able to ride the waves a little bit. And I just think that team's lost. I still don't want to doubt Steph, and I got a lot of respect for Jimmy Butler too. Jimmy Buckets. Yeah. So
but
they can, but I mean, you're gonna have to be healthy the whole year.
Yes,
that's the biggest part.
Yeah.
And again, will Kerr make the decisions that I feel like have been obvious to fans and maybe not obvious to him? Why is Brandon Podziemski started? Why is he starting? No shade to him, but I mean, we saw how great Kuminga was and how much athleticism he provided the Warriors in the Timberwolves series, and the fact that it was almost like they just absolutely did not want to play him.
Yes, they didn't. He literally was on.
And I don't get it. I think he should be a part of the starting rotation. even if he's not, he should be the first guy off the bench, and he should have some of the most minutes on the team. But I mean, if they can't figure that out, I hope he gets traded to somewhere where they want to play him.
Because it's like, you know, I know they keep saying like he doesn't have a very high IQ and he just can't really get it. But I'm just like, is it that, or is it just that he's just not always passing to Steph? Like, I mean, honestly. And I don't even think it's Steph. Like, I don't think he's the problem. I honestly am like, wouldn't you want to take, same thing with Luka and LeBron, right? Like, wouldn't you want to take a little bit of load off of Steph? Like, obviously, yeah, Kuminga's not Luka, but like, you know, I mean, he could still help, like you're saying, like, lower their minutes during the regular season. Like, let him cook a little bit so that by the time the playoffs come around, you can actually run plays for him. You can actually, like, know how to, like, work him in so that he feels confident. You're not just throwing him in because Steph got hurt after not playing him for, you know, the entire time. Like, that's obviously not going to work. I don't even know why you would.
Yeah, I just.
Like, how can you have someone that talented on your team and not even want to play him? Like, you know?
Yeah,
that's just kind of crazy.
I just think of the team that just lost in the finals and how they run their team.
Yes.
And that coach.
Exactly.
I'm like, I mean, Rick Carlisle would find a place for Jonathan Kuminga.
Yes.
He's more talented than a lot of those guys on the
would.
Pacers roster, and he just Kerr cannot. I don't think it's a Kuminga problem. I think it's a can Kerr even coach him?
Yeah.
Like,
I
unless he has unbelievable talent at his disposal, and all those guys might as well coach themselves because they have high IQs. Like, at the end of the day, you still need to coach up guys, and I think that's the problem. I think that's why you even trade for somebody like Butler, because he's good enough to probably be a coach.
He's already established.
Yeah, he's a savvy veteran. He's a high IQ player. Like, that's the only players you could get it done with, and I just feel like, they lost.
We agree. I know, we agree. Golden State, we're sorry, Golden State fans. You know, miracles happen. You guys could make something happen. You can make a run.
I still believe in Steph.
I'm worried. I will always believe in Steph, 100%. But I am worried that they're just going to lose too many games and they're going to fall too down in the ranking because the West is going to be so cutthroat.
And at this point, again,
if they were in the East, it'd be different. But
it seems like Kerr can't figure something out.
Yes.
I feel like even if Steph's healthy to start the year,
what is it going to look
it's going to be the same thing all over again. High minutes just to win games.
Yep.
By the time you're pushing for a playoff, those hamstrings are going to start to tighten up, and we're going to be back to square one again.
Yeah.
And
Jimmy
the Warriors
too. Jimmy got hurt too. Let's not forget. Like,
so
it's like that's all you need, and I don't know. Well, they lost, unfortunately.
One big move you'd like to see before the season starts.
I guess we can make this kind of like brief, but well, you know what? Like, I don't know how much more is gonna happen. Like, that's what I'm kind of wondering, is that I'm like, is there even gonna be a big, I mean, what would I like to see? I'd probably like to see Giannis go somewhere. I'd like to see that. That'd be fun and interesting and shake things up, and I don't think that's happening, especially because they just signed his brother now. Did you see that?
They did?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
You know what? I'll say this. That's my move. I'm a Spurs fan. Spurs, trade for him.
True.
Do it.
Yeah.
Pull the trigger.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I would.
The hard part is who do you trade? Not Fox. Not Dylan Harper.
Yeah, but who else are they going to take?
Not Castle.
Wemby? You
not
trading
Wemby? Heck no.
Well,
not
then who
Wemby.
are the Bucks going to take?
Every first round draft pick they have until 2030.
I don't know if the Bucks will do that.
A gigantic package.
I mean, the Bucks are kind of like screwed either way, so I feel like it's just like Giannis, like let him go, shyly.
No, I feel like
I
feel like they're gonna leave. I feel like every team wants to leave Giannis kind of where he's at. So one, he gets a year older. The contract gets older, and just the negotiating power in a trade, like the Bucks just lose more leverage, and the longer he stays there on a team that's not championship caliber, I mean, the more he's going to want out. The more he wants out, the less leverage they have to trading him, and
that's a good point.
So
and if you're in the West, I mean, as long as he's not on a team on the West, that's nice too. That's not yours, you know. So
yeah, bringing Giannis to the West either way is just Too much.
Diabolical.
Too much players.
Diabolical.
Too many players in the West.
All the best players are going to be in the West at that point.
It's ridiculous.
Literally. Okay, yeah, so I would agree with that. I would like to see that. I don't think it's going to happen, though. That would be my one move, though. I mean, I could see
that's the only move left.
There's smaller moves, you know what I mean, that are like there's moves I'd like the Lakers to make, you know what I mean, or whatever, but at the same time, like, I don't think that anything's going to happen
Westbrook
anymore.
to re-sign with the Nuggets.
Okay, period.
Bring him back.
That's cute.
Bring him back.
I do hope that all of the free agents, the restricted, guys can find a situation, because, I mean, I'm still kind of shocked that there's still, like Josh Giddey still isn't signed, who, Cam Thomas, right? He isn't signed? Is that who it is? What's his name?
I don't remember.
There's a few that are, still, the restricted free agents.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Kuminga, of course, is, the biggest one. But I hope they figure something out.
Kuminga's the one that I want to see.
I hope he
gets traded.
I'd like to see that happen. I would like to see that
happen. And I hope the Warriors don't pull some bogus move to get some draft capital and trade him to, the Nets or something. I hope they give him to a team that's
a
decent
team.
at least.
Yeah.
But I feel like if the writing's on the wall and they're going to trade him, they're just going to get the most they can out of it.
Well, I think that's why they haven't done it yet, though, because I think that I could see Steve Kerr being a little delulu about all this, you know what I'm saying? He's too lost in the sauce. So I think that's my theory, is that they're kind of lost in the sauce, and that's why they haven't done anything yet, because they don't understand what is actually reality, in that, girl, just move him for some decent pieces. You know, that you think
I think they're holding out hope that somebody will offer them a better package, but it's just you already mess the situation up so much. I think everybody knows that. They're not going to give you more. Yeah. And especially when they already know, it's not like he's being traded from a team that already has a lot of assets, so it's not like they're desperate. It's you don't have anything. If you want to keep him, go ahead, keep him, but you're going to keep a guy who, one, doesn't want to be there, and that you're not going to play, so you're just going to waste a roster spot.
No, literally.
And they just don't have any leverage anymore.
People know that they're desperate to get rid of him. Everyone knows that. So, yeah, I mean, I really don't think any of those things will happen. I mean, I do hope the restricted guys will probably get signed, but I don't really think, that's my theory, but who knows? It could happen. There's still time, I guess, right? There's this month left, I guess, until training camp starts, so I guess we shall see. That being said, we did want to kind of talk a little bit about, the fact that the East is, decimated. I guess we kind of already talked about that, but yeah, obviously all the Achilles injuries, Halliburton, Tatum, the Celtics and the Pacers are going to take a hit from that. The Celtics really just have completely decimated in every way. They, have no team left, low-key. They just got a couple guys and a prayer. But
my hot take is, I get that some people are like, oh, because of cap, they needed to blow it up. And honestly, I think the only piece that they kind of needed to get rid of, which is the first thing they did, was Porzingis.
Yeah.
But I thought, dude, just bring back the same team. I think you can keep the ship riding. Mm-hmm. And if Tatum can come back right before the playoffs, you'd probably win the East with just that team. Just minus Porzingis.
Fair.
So still Drew Holiday, Derek White, Brown, and Pritchard, and Tatum. But I feel like they just kind of
let everyone go.
Well, the biggest mistake I think they made was trading Drew Holiday. That was the big move that they made that got them over the hump. He provided them with a completely different defensive identity, and once that's gone, I still think they're going to make playoffs. I still think they're going to be good.
I think so too.
I wouldn't have blown it up the way that they did.
I totally agree, but I think that was just,
I think that was a panic button move. You got to give the Knicks vibes were just immaculate this year, so they were riding that high, especially going back to MSG. It was electric.
Yeah.
You can't. I feel like they overreacted.
I think it's just the new ownership. It's giving private equity fund. You know what I'm saying? It's giving we just don't care. It's only about money. And that might be something we see more of, because it's happening more and more to more teams that are being owned by these large investment groups. It's not like Jeannie Buss sold the team too. It's not like these families anymore that are really invested. It's a very business. So, I mean, it makes sense to me from that perspective, but I still think it was like a bad basketball move or potentially at least a questionable basketball move. So, the East is not going to be that good this year. There's only going to be a handful of teams that are going to be good, and I could see it being very different than last year. I kind of feel the same about the Pacers, though. I don't think they're going to be. I feel like everyone thinks like, oh, they're not even making the playoffs. I'm like, I think they definitely will. I think they're still a good team. Yeah, obviously Halliburton's like their core, but I mean, I still think they're going to be decent. Like they still have a lot of stuff going for them. They still have their crazy play style that's very unique. Like I think that still benefits them overall. They still have depth. Like I think they'll be okay. In the same way the Celtics will be okay. But obviously, it's just kind of crazy to think about. Sometimes I'm like, will they ever like fix these divisions? Like, are they gonna are they gonna do something about this? Like. Mm-hmm. But obviously the East would not want that because they don't want I think that they probably enjoy, at least the bigger teams, enjoy the fact that the Eastern Conference is so weak, but kind of seems a little crazy to think about, when we think about how stacked and how much talent, like you said, it's for Giannis to go to the West would be insane because it's just it's already so unbalanced as far as the talent portion, the percentages are just very uneven, but I guess we'll see. It'll be interesting. I don't really find myself watching that many Eastern Conference games, honestly.
It's just interesting to go into the season already knowing that the winner of the finals is going to come from the West.
Literally.
You'd be delusional to think it was going to come from the East.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I just, obviously the Pacers went on a miracle run. And you could even argue that the Pacers could have beaten maybe any of those other teams in the West, potentially. Because, I mean, OKC is, obviously so much, leagues above that it's, would they have beaten the Nuggets? Would they have beaten the Timberwolves? Would they have beaten, any of the other teams? Maybe. You know what I mean? But I don't really think that there's gonna be another team like that, but who knows? Maybe there will be another, maybe Orlando will be the Pacers next year. Do you know what I mean? Who knows? Maybe something will happen, but I just think
once you get that top heavy West team, I mean, look at the magical run that the Pacers went on. They couldn't beat the Thunder. I mean, obviously the Halliburton injury was a big part of that series, the Game 7, but I just don't know if anybody. Whoever's left, I mean, if the Pacers could bring back Halliburton or even make a trade by the deadline to make it even better for him when he comes back and they somehow get in the playoffs, I could see them going on that run. And I think if they made a big-time trade at that point to get there and then they got there and then played somebody, I mean, they were this close to beating the Thunder. And if they're healthy, they could potentially beat somebody in the West. But, I mean, if they beat everybody else last year and everybody else last year is kind of the same. Mm-hmm. But then we talk about the Thunder, or at least bringing back the same team. Yeah. The Rockets are better. The Lakers are better. The Nuggets are better.
Yeah. Realistically,
if Halliburton doesn't come back and they don't make a move, I mean, I hate to break it to Knicks fans, Cavs fans, Pistons fans. It ain't gonna be you. You're gonna be participating.
No, I think you're right.
You could push them. You could take it to 6.
Yeah. Maybe get a few looking.
Get some experience under your belt.
Sweaty. No, I do agree with you though.
I will say that's a move that I know they just traded Miles Turner to the Bucks, but I mean that's a move that I would love to see happen at the deadline. Halliburton is, some guys are coming back even faster now. Yeah. Halliburton can come back in March, and they're pretty decent. They're battling in the 5th and 6th spot in the West. Fuck it, you trade for Giannis. Get Giannis on the Pacers, so you have that depth, you have that experience, and then Halliburton comes back. Finish the job. What a story that would be, in my opinion.
Wow.
And then Halliburton's dad, he doesn't wear a Halliburton jersey in the playoffs. He wears a Giannis jersey in the playoffs. I would love this. This isn't going to happen, but wow! I mean,
I love that.
Coming off of that horrifying injury, that broke everybody's hearts, to go back, rewrite the story with Giannis. Giannis gets his second. Halliburton gets his first. And the East is alive and well again.
Wow.
Maybe some guys get traded to the Eastern Conference. Changes the landscape of the NBA. That's a storyline that I'm going to root for. And if the script writers are watching, do that. That's good. And this is coming from a Spurs fan. Giannis, I would love to have you. We would all love to have you. But, I mean...
Giannis, LA is very
Pacers, that would be crazy.
I gotta say, I would love that. I would actually love that.
Halliburton, meet with the shaman. Get this done, dude. Get back on the court. Get back on the court in February, baby. Like,
go with the shot. No,
oh my gosh, bring in Giannis. Dude, bring back Turner, dude. Trade for both of them.
That's what I was thinking.
Bring back the whole team.
That would be crazy if Giannis goes to the Pacers after Miles Turner went to the Bucks.
I'm telling you this right now. If that happens, we need to post this everywhere.
Oh yeah,
at the trade deadline. For sure,
that'd be insane.
It's not gonna happen, but that would be crazy.
That would be crazy. I would love that. I would love to see Giannis with the Pacers. Actually,
he gets to go to a small market team and another city that's all about basketball.
Not too far away.
Yeah.
I think that'd be fun. I actually really like that. But yeah,
I would buy a Pacers jersey with Giannis.
Oh yeah, I would love that.
Are you kidding me?
That'd be so good. Okay, quickly wrapping up the NBA portion of this. We were going to talk a little bit about Summer League and like any standout things that you saw at a Summer League. Maybe just some quick highlights. We don't have to go too in depth. Obviously, I think Summer League's like can't take that much out of it, But what were your takes? Did you watch a lot of games?
I honestly feel like I watched more Summer League than I ever have.
Okay, cool. Nice.
There were a lot of prospects that I was excited about.
Okay.
So I'm going to start with not my favorite.
Okay.
But he was, in my opinion, the safest prospect coming out of the draft.
Mm.
Meaning his floor and ceiling are pretty close to each other, and that's where he's going to stay. And he's going to be a piece that other teams are going to look at. I'm sure he's not going to be a journeyman. I don't think he's going to be wearing he's not going to have that ESPN treatment when he retires where they're going to show they're going to do a carousel of all the different jerseys he wore because of all the teams he got traded to.
Yeah.
But I could see him on 2 or 3 because he's always just going to be that missing piece. But Con Knipple out of Duke is just Kyle Korver, JJ Redick. He's one of those guys all over again.
Yeah.
High IQ basketball player. He's not going to miss a lot of shots. But the thing that I like more about him is he's a better defender than both, and he's more athletic than both.
Where did he go?
Duke.
Well, where did he get drafted to?
He got drafted to the Hornets.
Oh, okay.
And now that,
Interesting.
Michael Jordan, best basketball player of all time. Sorry, LeBron fans. Horrible GM. Terrible. I don't know if it was GM or president.
I didn't even know he was GM.
My goodness. I feel like he was gambling on the team to lose. I feel like that's what he was doing.
Maybe.
He was betting the house. That's why he's still a billionaire, dude. He was not in it for the wins. He was in it for the parlays. So, no, but I mean, that they started off with a bang with just an absolute great pick, and he didn't play the first 4 or 5 Summer League games, and then he comes out. He plays the last 2. I think they won the Summer League championship.
Oh yeah, they did.
Oh my gosh, he just played the last 2 games, and he was the best player on the floor in both games. So I loved him. Do you have one?
Mine is kind of random, but I'm not even gonna lie, I didn't even really see him that much. I think I only saw them when they played the Lakers. He is one of the Mavericks pickups, Andrew Nemhart's little brother.
Oh yeah.
Ryan Nemhart. What is his name? Ryan Nemhart. He is my little obscure one because I think he was actually undrafted, if I'm not wrong. I think he was undrafted. And then the Mavericks send him, I think, to a 2-way. I actually don't know, but I heard that he was great. And from what I saw, he did look really good, and he was like really helping them out. And so I was like, I mean, they really need guards, obviously, like the Mavericks, like that's kind of something they're lacking. So, I mean, I would have liked to see him go to Indiana and be with Andrew Nembhard. That would have been fun, the Nembhards together. But still, I think maybe he could make a little splash, because he was doing those Andrew Nembhard like little handle like swaggy moves.
Yeah, him and his brother are just dogs.
Yeah,
I mean, they're just buckets. That's what they are.
Exactly.
If they're not getting buckets, they're not helping. That's their big issue. But if they're getting buckets, it's a wrap.
Well, yeah. So I think I could see him also like really growing into something big. So I would say those are some obscure comments. I like that. Okay, cool.
Do you have any more? Or?
I mean, there's the obvious ones, you know what I mean? Like, all of the high draft picks, obviously they're good. You know what I mean? Like, Bronny played well. Bronny played well. I was glad to see that. I think he's still obviously developing, but he's so young. I feel like people forget that he's, like, actually so young still. So, I mean, that's kind of not that relevant, even though I'm a Lakers fan. Our other rookie, like Dalton, he did not play well at all. He played very bad. I saw actually they need to turn off his comments on his Instagram because I think he was getting harassed.
Connect 4, man. Get him out of LA. You know what? Let's do a swap.
Amazing.
If you're the Warriors and the Lakers, just swap Kuminga for Connect. Lakers will throw you a bone with like a second round pick because you need picks or something.
I don't know if the Lakers would want him though. They don't want that like kind of money on their books. They just don't even need him either. I feel like they need like
Warriors. Just give up whatever cash you have. Sell a washing machine. Do whatever you got to do and make that deal happen. I mean, both of these guys need a change of scenery.
Maybe a 3-team deal of some sort, but I do think that Dalton would do good on a team like that. Like, but I mean, he's not bad or anything. He's just horrible on defense. He's actually horrific. I mean, like I think like I saw some metrics. He's like literally the bottom. Like he's actually horrible on defense. Like he's really, really bad. And that's why he wasn't playing with the Lakers towards the end. That's why he didn't play in the playoffs, because he was just unplayable because his defense was so bad. And really all he was like actually good for is like a little playmaking and mostly just hitting threes. And he wasn't even hitting threes in the summer league, so it's a little concerning, I saw some things like that, but
Dalton, I love you, and if I were the Spurs owner, I'd trade for you any second.
I'd
watch you at TNC. Tennessee, you're a dog. You're an absolute dog.
I like Dalton, okay?
Don't let anybody, any of the haters bring you down. You're an absolute bucket. You're a dog.
Look,
you're struggling, but
I watched Austin and Dalton pretty much single-handedly almost beat the Nuggets full strength without Luka, without LeBron, without Rui Hachimura, without our center, like basically just that.
I have one more.
Okay, yeah.
Last one.
What is your last one?
He was my favorite underrated prospect, and I really wanted the Spurs to draft him. Instead, they drafted Carter Bryant, which I'm not mad about. Great spot up shooter. But one of the highest, and I actually sent it to you. We could maybe like release it so everybody knows I'm not BSing. I watched him in the NCAA tournament. I loved what I saw in Nick Clifford. He to me has more of the Kawhi comp, except I think he's a stronger leader. He's way more vocal, and he's an absolute rebound getter. Here's the thing, and we just said it about Nembhard. The Nembhards, if they're not hitting buckets, they're not helping. Nick Clifford is the opposite. If he's not hitting buckets, he's doing everything else he possibly can to help the team. You need a rebound, you need a steal, you need a block. He was going to do that and doing that. And as somebody who is always confused as to how the Kings have so much talent and then kind of do nothing with it. I thought that was a great draft pick, and to me, I was just what I expected from him. He delivered in the summer league, and I think they have a underrated prospect still under there. And I'm going to say it now. I think he's a future All-Star.
What is his name?
His name is Nick Clifford from Colorado State.
Okay.
He's an absolute dog.
And where did he go?
Colorado State.
Yeah,
where did Kings? Sacramento.
Kings, that's right. Yeah, okay. Interesting. Okay,
He played great in the summer league, and I believe it was the Kings and Hornets in the summer league championship.
Oh wow!
So he carried them there, but then Con Knipple, and he finished the job. But Nick Clifford, I loved what I saw. He was awesome.
Actually, I have one more.
Really?
Yang Hansen.
Oh, I was gonna. That was another one that I loved. And from China. He's the
new Jokic.
Yeah.
He's the Chinese Jokic. I mean, he seems like he's gonna eventually be really good. I know he's very young right now and everything, but
I like the cut of his jib.
What does that mean?
Don't know. Like the way it sounds.
You like his vibes.
There it is.
Also, sorry, I just have to say this. Aren't the Nemharts like really good defenders though?
Yeah, they're pretty good defenders.
I feel like
they're small though. They're small.
I saw Andrew Nemhart like.
They're getting into they're a little physical, but I mean
I really liked Andrew Nemhart,
before the Pacers got really hot. You should have seen the talk around the Pacers the first 2-3 months of the season, specifically around Andrew Nemhart, which I'm glad he turned it around with defense and his shot making. But he was having a rough go to start the year last year. So. That's why I'm saying that, but I mean, he really turned it around in the playoffs and just a new identity. Hopefully, it rubs off on his brother.
Okay, fair. I just was curious about that, though. Okay, so now we can move on to the NFL. Should we?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go and get into that. Like I said, this is going to be an Anthony heavy segment. I will be contributing. Sparingly as I can, but he's gonna handle most of this because I'm still learning. As we go through the season, I hope to be better, guys. Okay, don't make fun of me. Don't troll me, okay? Just make fun of me.
So week 1 is about to start. So we're gonna do a separate video where we're gonna break down who I have in the playoffs and who my Super Bowl pick is and the winner. And then we will get Mari's vibe pick. Mind you, she only knows what people talk about and say, and
I know pretty much nothing.
That's about it.
So I know the very skim of the surface.
So this is just going to be a rundown on week 1 picks, and that's it. If you want to see how we believe, this will kind of give you a tell on how maybe we see or I see. This going, so you could tell me if you disagree, but we're just going to go through week 1 picks because the NFL season is about to start. So the NFL season kicks off Thursday. This Thursday, the Cowboys. The Cowboys are playing the Eagles, and that's not going to go well.
That's a classic rivalry.
That is a classic rivalry. It's one of the best rivalries.
I know the Eagles
in NFL history.
Obliterate them.
Again, let me tell everybody, I am a Cowboys fan. I've been a Cowboys fan for over 20 years or 20 years now.
Wow.
My first season was actually the Romo Mania season in 06. So it was a pretty exciting season. And then 07, they were the number 1 seed, lost to the Giants. Giants beat the Patriots.
Okay.
The story goes on and heartbreaks later. It's a tough watch. I don't think I could be a fan until, Jerry's gone.
Yeah. Suffering.
So, the Eagles are going to demolish the Cowboys. Do you disagree with that, or the vibes check out?
Oh, no. I very much agree with that, especially because Jalen Hurts is in my fantasy football league.
There you go.
He's my quarterback, so...
That's another video.
I'm always rooting for you, Jalen.
I think everybody's rooting for Jalen.
Yeah, he just...
No, actually, no, not everybody. There's actually a lot of NFL fans. I don't know why. I used to be, don't get me wrong, I used to be a Jalen skeptic, but, I mean, dude, when you just outperform everybody in the playoffs consistently, how are we going to continue to just bury this guy and I need to see him pass more? It's just we don't ask Lamar and Josh to do that. They take off all the time, and, I get that they're maybe different caliber passers, but, I mean, Jalen has won a Super Bowl and they haven't. So, kick rocks. Anyway, Chiefs will play the Chargers in the Sao Paulo game for YouTube on Friday, following the Cowboys game.
In Sao Paulo?
Yes.
Wow, okay, interesting.
So, Chiefs.
I think the Chiefs will win that, right?
I mean, I love Harbaugh. I just feel like they're not going to reach their peak, and they're not going to start peaking until midseason. Okay. They're not going to be quite ready yet. I don't like the fact that Justin Herbert, I think, only played the last preseason game. Patrick Mahomes played. I always like teams to start off fast, and that's what makes the Chiefs the Chiefs. Is that, I mean, there's no reason Patrick Mahomes needs to play in the preseason. They're just practice games.
So these are preseason
You want to see the weeks prior.
Yeah, right.
Those games were preseason.
This is the real games, right?
Yeah, and in the preseason, so for the new sports girlies or sports guys, you know, if you're new to this,
sports days.
Preseason, you're mostly just trying to see your rookies, your undrafted players, and anybody that's kind of new to your squad, and you just kind of want to start getting the playbook and
makes sense.
Start testing out things, maybe some trick plays. The Chiefs actually play their starters basically every preseason game. And for example, the first preseason game, Patrick Mahomes played 2 snaps. Still played.
Okay.
You know, not everybody does that. For example, Cowboys, poverty franchise now, Dak did not play at all. So that should tell you something on the way the two teams operate. The Chiefs have basically been in the Super Bowl every year since Patrick Mahomes has been in the league, and Dak has never sniffed a conference championship. So there you go. It works. Play your players in the preseason.
Yeah.
So I think the Chiefs are going to be more ready for that one.
Okay.
Could end in a controversial call that goes the Chiefs' way.
Maybe.
The vibes check out for sure on that one.
I can see it.
But I think the Chiefs win. And then
I see a lot of Taylor Swift close-ups in that game.
Exactly. And you know what? If you have a problem with it, again, I'll change it up. I won't say kick rocks. I'll say touch grass, bitches. Like, do something.
Period.
Get some bitches and stop worrying about Taylor Swift being on screen, bro. It's not that big a deal. They show the parents' family. They show the players' families on screen. You care that much for 5 seconds after Kelsey makes a catch?
It's just
Who
press.
cares?
It's just press.
Who cares?
They know that they got
Go warm up your Tyson chicken nuggets and watch the fucking game. All right.
Don't eat
so then on Super Sunday, we got the Cardinals and the Saints.
Okay.
Cardinals are winning that game.
Okay, I like that because I like Cardinals the animal.
They got great colors. If Kyler Murray can put down COD, they can honest to God win the division. But because he can't put down COD, it ain't gonna happen. COD is Call of Duty.
I was like, whatever you say.
He is obsessed with Warzone.
Okay.
And every time there's a new pack, literally, they run the numbers. Anytime there's a new pack or a new Call of Duty game, his numbers and QBR drops because he stops watching film. He stops showing up early. He just locks in on COD. So this is a message to Kyler if you're watching. Dude, just put down the game, win a Super Bowl, and then pick the game back up. You know what I mean? You got the talent. All right, Dolphins, Colts. Dolphins, nothing to really argue on that one. I feel like people are really down on the Dolphins, but Tua kind of plays well when he's healthy. He's going to be healthy as long as his, brain's not getting rattled around. Like, I think he's fine.
Lord, that's a struggle for them all, isn't it?
Raiders, Patriots. Patriots are going to beat the Raiders.
So far, these are all the teams I would have picked, despite the fact that I don't really know at all.
Steelers, Jets. I got to go Steelers.
Okay.
Like their defense.
Okay.
I'm going to at the beginning, I think the Aaron Rodgers to DK Metcalf connection.
Okay.
We'll see how long it plays out. We'll see if Aaron can stay healthy the full year.
Okay.
Giants, Commanders. Giants are visiting Washington. The Giants can win this game. I don't think they can win this game with Russell Wilson.
What is he?
He's the starting quarterback.
Okay.
So the Giants have a good problem to have, but they had horrible quarterback play for the past few years. So what they did is a complete overhaul. Now they have 3 capable and competent quarterbacks.
Too many.
And Russell Wilson, I believe, is getting the job simply because, the name, he's won the Super Bowl before. He won with the Seahawks.
Most experienced.
And then they have this other guy, Jameis Winston. You'd love him. I think the ladies would love him. Well, maybe not. I mean, he did have a scandal in college.
Oh.
But the vibes are immaculate.
Sucks.
The vibes are immaculate. He's a weird guy. He's a good locker room guy for some reason. And people just love him. He balled out in the preseason. And then they got this guy from Ole Miss, Jackson Dart, who's an absolute stud. I think Russell Wilson's just past those years. I argue against people. I think he's a Hall of Famer. Maybe not first ballot, but definitely second. And I just don't think they'll beat Washington. I think the offense will be a little bit slow going. I think the second time around they can beat them, but not this first time. I got Washington. Then we got the Panthers playing the Jaguars. Sorry, Trevor Lawrence, but this is
two cats.
Bryce Young.
It's a kitty.
I believe this year is Bryce Young's coming out party.
Coming out as gay?
Maybe.
Oh,
maybe.
Do you mean like as a good player?
Hey, you heard it here first if it happens. Hey, you know what? Bryce, I'm going to tell you. Be you if that's who you are. I don't care.
I was like, are you outing him right now?
I don't care. Can you throw the 10-yard out to the sideline without it getting picked? That's what I care about.
Right.
I don't care about who you choose to love.
Period.
Anyways.
Period.
I think the Carolina Panthers beat the Jaguars. I think the Jaguars are still kind of a poverty franchise.
Okay.
And as you would say, I think the vibes are low. I mean, their new head coach, his name's Liam Cohen, came from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and they have this thing in Jacksonville. It's called Duval.
Okay.
And there's like a way to say it, but he said it the most. It was the most cringe-worthy thing at his first press conference. He was trying to ask the media, the reporters there, to kind of say it with him, and he's like, Duval, and it was dead silent.
We gotta insert a clip. We're gonna insert a clip.
It was the most you wouldn't get me to play for you. I would not want to play for that guy. No offense, Liam, but no, it was just
he's the
cringe.
Coach.
Yeah, it was cringe. Okay. It's not like Dan Campbell. He's the head coach of the Lions. I want to run through a brick wall for that man. The boys will understand that, but no, Liam. No, Liam Cohen couldn't get me to gas up his car. No, terrible, terrible vibes.
Alrighty.
Bengals, Browns. I'm gonna go with the Bengals simply for the fact that they played Joe Burrow in the preseason. Again, I like it when teams do that. They had to change something up because they've been historically bad the first 2 weeks of the season. And
I like their vibes. I gotta say,
this year they want to turn it around.
Vibes.
So I think Joe Burrow's gonna play fantastic. And I think the Browns have really bad vibes going into the year. I think the Shador stuff, in my opinion, is a little dicey.
Yeah.
I don't think they're... Now, I'm going to say this before, because I feel like there's a lot of people that are on the opposite end of this Shador thing. I don't think they're sabotaging him. But if you can look me in the eye and tell me that you think they're trying to set him up for success, I don't think you can make that argument.
Oh, yeah, no.
So,
it's messy.
Anyway, I think Joe Flacco's too old. And I think they'll struggle. Bucks, Falcons, I think the Bucks will win that one. It's a bake show. He's going to wake up feeling dangerous. 49ers, Seahawks, 49ers. Glock Purdy. I don't care what anybody says. I think this, again, it's another one of those things I think he's actually a really good quarterback. I think last year was a down year, but I think everybody was just unhealthy on that team. And I don't think he's a product of just
49ers.
Mass weapons or anything like that. The San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah, okay.
I don't think he's a product of just, a lot of talent around him. I know we have that idea of him, but I think he's going to break that mold this year, and he's going to show guys that... I think he's going to show guys that, hey man, I can still do the same things with a little lesser
resume. Do a little something, something.
He's a little prayer warrior. We like that.
Okay.
Titans, Broncos. Come on. Vibes are immaculate. Bo Nix, Oregon.
That's right.
Liberal City.
Period.
Not like the conservatives in Tennessee.
Right. We don't fuck with that.
No, they could win though. Cam Ward's a dog. But I'm gonna go Broncos. Lions, Packers. Lions.
Okay.
I don't think Micah Parsons will play for the Packers. We'll see what happens. I don't think it'll happen though. So I got Lions.
Okay. Whenever there's an animal
Texans
versus a non-animal, I'll always cheer for the animal.
There you go. You want to choose for some people that move cheese. I don't
No.
think you want to do that.
No, I would choose the Lions.
Texans Rams. I'm not even sure that their starting quarterback for the Rams will play in Stafford. There's been a lot of mystery and intrigue going on with conspiracy. His injury. I mean, he might just get a shot of insulin or whatever they take for pain. What do they take for pain? It's not insulin.
No, they have like pain shots though.
Yeah, whatever it is. He might just do that. He's been doing that for years, and he just plays all cracked out. I think it's his back, or I don't know.
That seems a little sketch.
But I like the Texans in that one just because there's too much mystery around that. Okay. I don't like that.
Period.
Ravens, Bills. I think it's gonna be close, but I got the Ravens.
Okay. And
I'm really high on the Ravens this year. I think they got a killer roster. And what really put it over the top for me was a trade for Jair Alexander. He's a corner. He's the guy that covers the receivers.
Okay.
The guys that catch the ball. He's the one that covers them.
Okay.
And they just loaded up on defense, loaded up on offense, and yeah, I think you're going to beat the Bills.
Period.
Vikings, Bears. This one's a tough one. For a while I was going Bears, but I'm going to go Vikings. I think there's still going to be growing pains with Caleb. He plays more comfortable out of the shotgun. Mm-hmm. Caleb Williams, they call him his term of endearment, as you will, nickname for him, which I think is kind of low ball. I still think it's kind of funny, but it's a little low ball.
What is it?
They call him LGBTQB1. Because he paints his nails, and he has a nail deal. Which I'm like...
One of these days, I want to do an episode about the misogyny in sports.
He did one of... I don't remember... Somebody called him out for his nails painted, and they were saying something about the color, and he's like, yeah, it's the same one your mom uses, or something like that. So, you know what? I'm a big fan of Caleb.
Yeah.
But
you king, don't stop expressing yourself just because these losers are lame.
But I think old habits are hard to break, and he was running for his life often. While he played for USC, that's where he came from. He won a Heisman there, and they brought a new head coach in. He used to coach the Lions, Ben Johnson, and his offense is more predicated under center. That's when they're, touching the gooch of the fat guy, pulling the ball, the quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And then you fake hand it off, or you hand it off, and you fake hand off, throw the ball, stuff like that. He's great. Yeah. He's great calling plays out of that, while Caleb is more comfortable operating. You know how sometimes they'll be 5 yards back?
So what type
of shotgun
is this on?
The Bears.
Okay.
And I think there's going to be some growing pains because what the coach likes to run is not what the player is comfortable running. So I think that's going to take a while to gel.
Fair.
I don't think it's going to be immediate this year, but next year I think the Bears make noise, but I would probably have the Vikings. So
okay, fair.
Do with that what you will.
Okay. Is that all the teams? Okay, so we got through that. Alrighty, guys. Well, I think we're going to wrap it up for today. But I do want to say, as we kind of briefly mentioned earlier, we are going to have one podcast episode a week. So that would be a full-length podcast, just like today's. And then we're also going to be doing smaller episodes as well, so you guys can get little bite-sized segments. Just little fun stuff, like, topic-specific, little fun
tiers,
segments.
rankings.
Exactly. All the fun stuff, So we're
predictions.
Exactly. We want to keep you fed with the content that you want. So that is our plan. We're going to have little mini episodes for you guys as well, along with the weekly longer episodes. So that is what you can expect. Don't forget, please, before we even go further, I just want to remind you guys, please like and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. And if you are listening to us on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you listen to podcasts, make sure you also like, comment, rate us. And if you want to subscribe, go to our YouTube. We also have an Instagram and a TikTok. First Team All Vibes. Go follow us. First Team All Vibes everywhere. Okay? That is the new vibe in town, if you will. First Team All Vibes. Don't forget it. So every episode, we want to end out by doing a few little fun segments. The first one is going to be what is going to be called our MVV. What does that stand for? Well, it is the most valuable vibes. Yay! So every week when we do our episodes, we want to give our most valuable vibe award away. And basically, it's going to go to the player, the person, the coach. It could be someone, whoever, right? That we feel really carried the vibes that week. Okay, maybe they did something crazy. Maybe they just did something amazing. They don't vary by week, okay? And it'll be to our discretion. If you guys have any votes for the most valuable vibes, maybe you can let us know in the comments. But we do have one for this week, and Anthony actually chose them. So go ahead. Why don't you tell the people what the MVV award is for this week?
So my most valuable vibes this week, there's been, there's a handful, and the only place I could probably give it to is in the college football landscape. If Arch Manning came out a lot better, I don't know if you know who that is. He's the nephew of Peyton and Eli.
Yeah.
Most anticipated college debut. Looked like he never threw a football for.
I heard he sucked. Yeah, I heard he sucked.
So I wanted to come in here and maybe give it to him, but there's several people. Nobody was talking about Julian Sayin, the Ohio State. He was the number one player in high school in 2023, and if you had to do an eye test and close your eyes, and which one's the guy that everybody's yapping on about, I would have picked Julian Sayin, and his numbers didn't reflect how good I thought he was in that game. I think he played well under pressure. He played a good Texas defense, and dude was pretty outstanding, and he was pretty calm. And that's the best receiver in college football. Dropped several passes from him, which was a surprise. So again, his numbers didn't do it justice to how well he played.
Period.
Carson Beck from Miami. Dude looked like a stud again. And I was clowning him last year with Georgia. But he looked like, a projected round one type of QB prospect. And he took down my favorite team, Notre Dame. So that kind of hurt.
Right.
Carson, you're kind of a bitch for that. No, I'm just kidding. That's too far. That's too far. You can beat me up, dude.
Personal.
You beat me up, dude. But no, you balled out. You threw one of the best, I think, darts or dimes of the week. I also want to talk about Brian Kelly, head coach of the LSU Tigers. They were getting a bunch of flack in the offseason. People were calling for his job, and he beat Clemson, who had a bunch of hype with Dabo Swinney, and they were bringing back I think 12 starters. No, I think it was more than that. I think it was like 16 or 18 starters on both sides of the ball. And, Brian Kelly just all swagged out, finally got a big win with LSU, and was just talking mad shit in the press conference after.
Okay.
The opposing head coach, Dabo Swinney, was like, you know what? I feel like if we had to get a grade, we'd get a 60, and I feel like we won 55 or 53% of the game, and they barely won, but the score says otherwise. And then Brian Kelly was just like, we steamrolled your ass, boy, in the second half.
Period.
Either you're delusional on the grade you gave yourself, or maybe you're just a really hard grader on us. But Brian Kelly, just straight up in a fucking jacket and shit, was just like, we beat your ass, boy. Ass to belts. And I'm like, Brian, chill. You won one game, and he's acting like the toughest dude on the planet. But overall,
aligning.
The toughest dude on the planet right now, in my MVP of the week, South Carolina quarterback, Lenora Sellers.
Okay.
You got to look it up. He had one of the most electric runs this week. They were bringing him down. He spun out of it, threw off some guys. He looked like a man amongst boys. It was a scary sight. It just makes you want to watch the TV.
Scary.
He's like, you know who he runs like? He runs like a coked out Jalen Hurts. And that's saying something. Jalen Hurts can lower the shoulder. He's literally the guy that runs the tush push because he can squat 500 pounds. If Jalen Hurts can squat 500 pounds, I think Lenora Sellers can squat 1,000 pounds. Let me just say that.
Wow.
I don't know if he can actually do that. I'm probably severely exaggerating, but he looked like an absolute stud this week against Virginia Tech, albeit. But he just has the vibes. I mean, he's got the swagger, he's got the moxie, he's got the arm, but most importantly, he's got the legs, he's got the wheels. So that's my MVP.
Okay. Well, I respect that. Hopefully as we go along, I will be able to contribute more to the MVP. We will have one every week, so do not worry. I'm sure there will be weeks where I have a very strong opinion about who the MVP should go to. But thank you guys so much for joining us for episode 1. We are so excited for the start of this journey and for all the episodes and all the fun and all the games and such yet to come. We will obviously be digging into all of the good stuff.
Digging in your butt.
All the games, all the happenings, all the latest, okay? All the trades, once NBA starts getting started, all of that, all of our predictions. So this is just the tip of the iceberg. So if you guys like this, again, please make sure spread the word, okay? Tell your friends, tell your friends' friends, tell everyone to watch us, okay? So that we can make even more episodes for you. But that'll be it from us.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, and this has been First Team All Rise.
See you next week, Smelly Hose.
Bye bye.